Brahmavi
Brahmagnau
Brahmagnau
Brahmanahutam
Brahmanahutam
Brahmaivatena gantavyam
Brahmaivatena gantavyam
Brahma karma samadhina
Brahma karma samadhina.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So he starts with Jnana Yoga in the 4th chapter. So Guruji explained to us about tradition. Even medicine has come down through tradition. You understood what he meant by tradition, right? It's not just wearing Indian salwar kameez or kurta and going for a cultural Indian program. That's not tradition. What has come down from generation, generation to generation, that which has been preserved, maintained, has followed a tradition. So, he gave the example of medicine. We are not studying, doctors who study, go to MBBS school, they don't study only that which this generation has come up with. Research has been done for generations together. Quantum mechanics, we all love that. We have reached this state today in quantum mechanics. Yeah? Because we came down all the way from classical physics, all the way we came down. So every lane of education or study, even architecture, Frank Lloyd Wright is not there anymore, but you go visit his awesome structures, his homes, all the stuff that he's done, museums, that architecture, that study comes down. Just like that, Jnana has a tradition. So what we are studying now in Jnana Yoga has come down through tradition, from generation to generation to generation, not words. At least when we talk about architecture, medicine, this, that, physics, this is all words. But here we are talking about the inner experience, about knowledge, self-realization. So when it came from one generation to the next, in that generation also, some enlightened masters were there, who experienced it. Then it came to the next generation. In that also there were some enlightened masters. Like that it has come down the generations. That is tradition, that which comes down. Thank you. So the first sutra, 4-1. Imam vivasvati yogam Proktavan aham vyayam Vivasvan man vipraha Muni rikshvaka vi abravit This I told to Surya. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, this knowledge that I am giving you, I told Surya. Who Surya?
Sun God.
The sun god. He is saying, I told this to Surya. Then Vivasvan is Surya. Yogam Proktavan Aham Vayam. This karma yoga, which is indestructible, this knowledge I gave him. Second line, Vivasvan Manave Praha. Surya told Manu. Who's Manu?
Great sage Manu, who
So he told Manu, and then Manu told Ikshvaku. Next sutra. Evam parampara praptim.
Evam parampara praptim.
Rajarashayo vidu.
Rajarashayo vidu.
Sakale neha mahata yogo.
Sakale neha mahata yogo.
Nashtaha parantapa.
Nashtaha parantapa.
Parampara is tradition. This knowledge came down by tradition to sages. Rajarishi is the sages of the kingdom. And Vidu is common man. So this knowledge came down by tradition to the sages of the kingdom and common man. Sakale neha mahata. After a long time. Kal is time. Mahata is great. After a long time. Yogo nashta. This knowledge became destroyed or extinct. Parantapa. Oh Parantapa. He calls him by many names, no? Dhananjaya, Parantapa, Partha. (4-3) Sa evayam maya tedya.
Sa evayam maya tedya.
Yoga prokta puratanaha.
Yoga prokta puratanaha.
Bhaktosi me sakha cheti.
Bhaktosi me sakha cheti.
Rahasyam hetuduttaman.
Rahasyam yetaduttamam.
This superb yoga knowledge, literally translated, this superb yoga knowledge from yesteryears, from ancient times, I will tell you. Prukta, I will tell you. Puratanaha, ancient. I will tell you the superb knowledge. Bhakto si me sakha cheti. Because you are my devotee and my friend. Bhakt and sakha. Rahasyam hetaduktaman. This is the greatest secret. So now Arjuna's doubts begin. Yeah? He says, Aparam bhavato janma param.
Aparam bhavato janma param.
Janma vivasvataha.
Janma vivasvataha.
Kathame tad vijaniyam.
Kathametad vijaniyam.
Tvamado proktavaniti.
Tvamado proktavaniti.
Your janma is now. Your janma is now. Surya's birth was ancient. That's the first line. How do I know that in the beginning of time you told him this?
What is he लगाएंगे शेंडी और?
And that's the thing, he's how do I know? He's just doubting him. And you're saying that you gave this so many in the ancient times. You are in front of me. How do I know you really gave it in the beginning of time? Yeah? So, the answer obviously Gurudev gave you, it's the tradition. Yeah? Now what does this also mean? Is that the Purusha is the same, no? Yeah? Whatever this Prakriti is, the external Prakriti, it keeps changing. But the Purusha is constant. The Purusha was, is and will be. It doesn't matter which Prakriti comes to give this knowledge. The Prakriti is not important. It's the Purusha that is coming again and again to give this knowledge. Like we say for Gurudev, that he took birth in this body to come and impart this knowledge to us. And we say that for all Siddhas. So, that's the answer for that. It's a rhetorical question, not that Krishna is going to answer him like that. He just says, for so many lifetimes ago, Surya existed, Manu existed. How can I trust you that you really gave this knowledge to them?
Plus he's confusing with different versions every now and then.
Because he gives so many things, no? First he says Karma Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, yeah? Now Gyan Yoga. So Arjuna is totally confused by now. (4-5) Bahuni me vyatitani Janmani tava charjuna
Janmani tava charjuna
Tanyaham veda sarvani
Tanyaham veda sarvani
Natvam vetat parantapa
Natvam veda parantapa.
Several lifetimes I have come and so have you, O Arjuna. That's the first line. First line. I took many, many bodies and you took many, many bodies. Second line, Tanyaham Veda Sarvani. I remember all of them. Veda is to know or remember. Yeah? Sarvani is all. Tanyaham is those. Those I remember all. Natvam Vethat Parantapa. He calls him Parantap. Parantap is the destroyer of all enemies. Yeah? O Parantap, you do not. As in, you do not remember. So he says, we keep coming. Even Guruji has said this, no? If you remember in the Upanishads. So many lifetimes we have been together. This is not the first time. And then Guruji said, wish you remembered it. A little bit, wish you remembered it. Never forget that from the Upanishads video. How, I can feel that, that of the master wanting his devotees to just little bit come to that knowledge. Somehow, through memory, through smriti, through an experience, somehow you remember that. The master really loves you. For him, it's all love. Nothing else. He doesn't see a difference between himself and the others. They are all one only. And he's come here only to uplift us and to take us to the highest knowledge. So Gyan Yoga is only about the consciousness, the self. And the self goes on and on. This body may drop. The body is not important. The self moves on. Myself has been through many bodies. Yourself has been through many bodies. You have forgotten Arjuna, but I remember them all. Clear? 4-6. Ajopi sanvyaya atma
Ajopi sanvyayatma
bhutani bhutanami ishvaro api san
Bhutanamishvaro san
prakritim swamadhisthaya
Prakritim swamadhisthaya
sambhavamya atmamayaya
Sambhavamyatmamaya.
Beyond birth and beyond destruction, amongst all bhutani, everything that is prakriti, I am God. I am Ishwar. Prakritim swamadhishtaya means I govern this prakriti. Sambhavamya atma mayaya. I appear out of my own maya. As in, within Brahman itself there is maya. From its own maya, Prakriti comes up. Yes, it gets divided into Prakriti and Purusha. This happens on accord of its own maya. And that from which all Prakriti has come, that it's beyond birth and beyond destruction. Means the Purusha or the self is beyond birth and beyond destruction. And remember, this Brahman has that, Guruji said, no, council, the higher council and the higher management, which manages all this, managing the equations of all the elements and the rajas, tamas, sattva and the doshas and how they will interact and how they will create all these things in you and how all the bhutas, as in the material prakriti, will interact with each other. Yeah? So this is at the physical realm of existence. And then it has also another law for the subtle realm of existence. What is the subtle realm of existence? Where all the devas reside. Yeah? So in this room it's not just 18-20 of us. There's much more here. Yeah? There are devas all the time with you. Yeah? And what are devas? Nothing but energy impulses. Yeah? What are kinnaras, gandharvas, yakshas? Those souls that have left the body but have time to get into another body. The in-between time, what will they do? They still have their own fire element, their own rajas coming up. So they have their desires, they want to fulfill those desires, but they have no way to do it in Prakriti now anymore, right? Because they've lost the body. So they've moved on from the body, but their desires make them keep looking towards this physical realm of existence.
They can have the gunas and the doshas without a body?
Yes. So what happens when this body dies? At 80, 90, 100 years, the flesh and blood and bones falls down, but the mind mind also has Rajas, Tamas, Sattva. The mind also has the 5 elements. Remember that. Yeah? And your entire bag of impressions. What will happen? If there is some time before you take your next janma, in that interim, that khujli is there, no? I want to do something. Yeah? That feverishness is there inside. I want to do something. I want to achieve this. That is what yakshas do. And yakshas bring wealth. And kinnaras bring social and political fame. Gandharvas bring art and music and creativity.
So I forgot. They're just transiting before they get into the other flight.
Yes.
So they choose a particular...
That's our karma Vignan, right?
Not just karma. It depends on your equation. What does a yaksha need? Yaksha needs somebody who's really has that fire in his belly. To really go, be a go-getter. Really want it. Yaksha will not choose a tamasic person who's happy sitting on his couch. I'll watch TV. I'll get how much of money I'm happy, I don't care. Yaksha cannot choose that. Are you getting this? How does this nature also develop? Because of that equation of elements and doshas and gunas. Are you seeing this? So your equation has to match the equation of the yaksha, no? Then only can you be his choice.
Why is the niyati controlling all this?
Yes, that's what I was saying. The higher council, the higher management, that is what he's talking about. That is what I govern. Get it? So that is the subtle realm of existence which we did in Upanishads. You keep forgetting that, huh?
So each person has a subtle realm within?
It is said somebody who is very much on the good side, wants to do good, definitely has a deva with them. Yeah? Right now, some very strong power is talking through me. This body has no strength to talk right now. There is some very strong power that is still hell-bent on getting the knowledge to you. Similarly, on the negative side, people who are really negative, they have a power, like terrorists say, I don't know how I did that, I really didn't mean to do that. Guruji gave you the example. It is that subtle realm of existence where the asuras exist. They can propel you into a negative direction also. But of course your tendency is like that, no? Your equation is of tamas, your equation is of negativity. You are predominantly that kind of a person.
Can one have both?
A little bit. The grey
Because
area
everyone
subtle.
has some grey, thing in them.
Yeah. But that is why it is said, I have not done this. This name fame has just happened. That's why even the biggest stars will tell you that. This happened. I don't know how I got that award. Yeah. Most successful people always say, I really don't know how this has happened. Because there is a stronger power propelling you in that direction. It is the thirst of that power really. You are just nimit matra. There's no perfect translation in English.
Medium.
Medium, instrument. Yeah? It's like you are just the flute, the brass out of which the flute is made. But somebody else is playing the music through you. The flute starts thinking, oh, I am so great. What music is coming out of me? That is doership really, what you are into. I am doing. How can a flute say, I am doing? How? You are nimit matra, instrument. Do not exist. In the higher mathematics, we are just pawns. Like we are on a chessboard. Somebody else is moving us. And we become so happy, oh, I am doing it. Yes? So now you will say that means if I become a deva, all my wishes will get fulfilled. Not necessary. There is another mathematics that works at that level also. Yeah? Right now, we are just really premature to understand that level of it. Yes, but they propel us into a particular direction. That is also one aspect of I am not the doer.
So to that effect, even the thoughts that you have are not really yours, right?
That is why Guruji says, no, whatever comes, surrender, let go, drop. Even these ragas and dveshas are not always yours. I was teaching in Kota jail, Kota, Rajasthan. Yeah, there is the jail just for the women, the separate jail. So I was teaching the course there, and this lady goes on and on and on crying and giving me a letter. You're not allowed to take a letter for the prisoners out of the jail. So she keeps crying and saying, you know, I really didn't do that. I don't know what came over me in that moment of fury, that rage. I got so angry that I burnt my daughter-in-law. But it wasn't me. I don't know what happened. It is really true. Yeah? They are really not the doers, but they have to go through it because they could not have a say over their own senses at that point of time. You are not allowed to lose control over your senses. You have to be very aware.
So that, but yeah, I mean, she did not do it, but she has to pay the price. One would think that it's not fair, but you're
Now
saying
you were chosen also. Why? Because
you allowed
had.
it to happen.
Ah.
Your sattva or your guna was
Tamas.
yeah,
Tamas was very high.
Your guna was low, and you allowed
Yeah.
tamas to get the better of it.
But that's all coming from the prior karma. That's it. I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is just happening because of something she did in the past life. It's a part of her karma.
Correct.
The niyati formed that particular circumstance for her to do this. She didn't say, I didn't do it. But
Absolutely.
it happened because niyati made that happen.
Exactly. For example, all 20 of you go and interview with the same company. Will all of you get selected? Maybe one of you gets selected. 19 of you might get rejected. That one person does some amazing innovative stuff for that company. Yeah? What Steve Jobs did for Apple. Yeah? It was that equation between the company and Steve Jobs. Yes? Steve Jobs had that talent. So Apple got attracted to him, he got attracted to Apple. It's like negative and positive coming together. Do you get it? Same thing. In the same way, think. If a negative kind of energy is pulling you, it's because you are negative. When you turn around and become really positive and really strong and firm in your yoga stha, come what may, nothing can move me from my center, then negativity doesn't stay long. It's like a breeze, it comes and it goes. Because it knows, इधर अपनी दाल नहीं गलने वाली. Moves on. Positivity prevails. So recognize this. It's the Adi Daivik level is very difficult to perceive and understand. But in Kenopanishad also Guruji says that you can perceive a deva sometimes just like a flash of light. Because they don't have a physical form. You can actually experience such things. So that is the higher management he is talking about. That there is this level of physical realm and then a higher one which is subtle. So after you leave the human life and move on to the Daivic level. It is why it is said, human life is very precious. Why?
Because only human life can
Attain enlightenment. You will have to come back to a human life to get enlightened. Otherwise, you cannot get enlightened. Yeah? You have to experience the tail end of Jnana and Karma Yoga. What is the tail end? Bhakti. What is Bhakti? That devotion, that love for
The divine.
the divine. How will you experience that love? The moment you leave human life, there is no love there. You cannot experience it. To experience love, you must come back to the human birth. So, again and again remind yourself, I cannot lose this precious lifetime. Otherwise it is what? Mahati vinashti. Yeah, it is the greatest loss. Yeah, so don't postpone it. Krishna says, I am the one who runs all this. He's the higher management.
It's interesting that every major religion, whether it's Christianity or Islam or whatever, I don't know about Judaism, but they have this angels and demons.
Yes. 4-7. Yada yada hi dharmasya
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य
अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
Whenever there is harm to dharma. O descendant of Bharat. He is the descendant of Bharat. Whenever there is harm to dharma, O descendant of Bharat. Second line, whenever adharma rises, then I appear out of my own self. Or I appear out of my own Maya. I would say that all the enlightened masters today are there actually. Yeah? They are not different from Krishna. At the time when Krishna was there, not everybody recognized that divinity in him, right? Duryodhana could not see that divinity. At that point of time, Gita didn't become very, popular and people talking about it or people thinking that Krishna is divine. Not everybody was there yet. Yeah? When Krishna left and later on all this came, then people started worshipping. But that's where we make a mistake. I believe that divinity is there in Gurudev. Yeah? That divinity is there in so many other enlightened masters who are alive today. Yeah? We have to stop looking for something special. I don't know, we imagine a lot because of movies or I don't know what. That somebody is going to come and it's going to be glowing. Some light is going to be coming out. No. That Purusha, that consciousness, it has manifested as a guru in front of you. Don't wait for a time that one day there will be a time and then somebody will come. What is the latest? Some Kalki will come.
I think you answered my previous question,
Yeah.
and that is about ISIS. It seems to me that Shri Krishna was an enlightened individual, an enlightened individual, rather than God himself, was an enlightened. In some ways, God, all of us are potential God, but it was not. It's just like there may be somebody out there, enlightened one, even in the Middle East, or somewhere
Somewhere, right? There may be
that come
helping
about
people.
to take care of that somebody.
Pop sense into that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, don't think that God is going to come down and God is going to. That's what I'm saying. Stop this imagination. God is that Purusha, that being that is already there. This Purusha has got tainted by this Prakriti. The moment this taint drops off, you are God. Stop thinking that God is something special or somebody special or looks special.
Sai Baba is such a great example.
Yeah.
In today's age, you said there are other alive. Whom would you consider besides Guruji?
Oh, there's so many enlightened other masters. So many.
Like we were talking about yesterday.
Not necessarily everybody is as popular as Guruji.
Yeah,
but there are
they
so
don't
many.
have to be popular. They could be helping out in their own
Own
way.
way.
Yeah. Mother Teresa, when she was really doing it, she was doing it in a small way. Later on towards the,
So
her
India
older
is,
age.
because it has this so much this thing about this fraud, things, and the first thing when you talk about any guru or enlightened, it's like suspicion. That's the first thing that sticks
Now
about.
this Maharaj Nisarga who wrote I Am That, he is also enlightened thing, but no one knows about him, but he's written such a beautiful book.
Absolutely.
Who? Which one?
Maharaj Nisarga.
Nisarg.
What's the name of the book?
I am that. Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah, Cartoon.
He's even very boldly said it. That when it happened, I didn't know this is what people call enlightenment. There are many people there, but they have different ways of bringing the knowledge to you. Not everybody really becomes very popular and has a big organization, and that's fine. You could be helping few people, like Mother Teresa. Just helping out the sick people. To start with, of course, you will get there. But don't think that God is somebody who's going to have some white color, cloud-like body with a long flowing beard,
And a halo.
halo and flying somewhere in the sky. Nice mythological stories, guys, but we need to grow up, right? Move away from those things. Understand God is not a person. Even here, this is a depiction of the Purusha that is untainted by this Prakriti. That is called Krishna consciousness. What is that organization?
ISKCON.
ISKCON. They do a lot Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness? It's this being in the Purusha, being in the witness consciousness all the time. Not being lost in Prakriti. Being able to be yogastha consistently from moment to moment to moment. You see that?
And one of the Upanishads also Guruji says that the enlightened masters who have come, they have taken the body, Prakriti, and if the body gets sick, don't think they are not enlightened.
Of course, the body is going to fall
It's going
sick.
to fall sick. It's going
The
to
body
put
is the composition of earth, water, fire, ether, air, vata, pitta, kapha and rajas, tamas, sattva. It is going to get affected. So drop this thing that enlightened people don't fall sick. Yeah? It's not true. So they go through their own prakritis up and down. And it's fine. They don't get affected by that up and down. What happens to you when you're sick? One little pain in the knee, oh my knee is paining, the end of the world, my knee is paining, I'm never going to be able to walk again, my knee is paining, finish, I've become old, no stamina, finished. Peace of mind is gone. Total Vyakhya cloud you create around yourself. You walk in it, you live in it for months together. That moment, if you can drop it, let go, next moment, it's over, it's the past. It doesn't even exist right now. If you can live like that, moment to moment to moment, you are God. You are Purusha. You are Yogas. Just a matter of moving from external to the center and getting established. Move to the next sutra. 4-8. Paritrāṇāya sadhūnām Vināṣāya ca duṣkritaṃ Dharma sansthapanārthāya Sambhavāmi yuge yuge To protect the good and destroy the bad. That's the first line. The word sadhu also means good, very good. It doesn't mean just a sadhu or a saint. So in Sanskrit language, when we have to say to somebody, good, you did a good job, we say sadhu, sadhu. So, to uplift and to protect the good and to destroy the bad. Second line, to establish dharma. Dharma sansthapanārthāya, to establish dharma. Sambhavami yuge yuge, I will come yuga after yuga. What is a yuga?
Eon, a big, the Kalyug, Treta Yug.
We'll do a little bit tomorrow what the yugas are. Well, do you know the yugas? Kalyug,
Treta Yug,
Satyug,
Satyug.
Dwapar, Treta Yug. We'll do a little bit tomorrow. Understand, what yugas are and how that is different from the English calendar of yours. It's important to understand, especially when you get into scriptures. It's very interesting where exactly we are.
So what yuga was this happening in?
At the end
Bhagwad Gita. No.
It was at the
End of Treta Yuga.
End of Treta
Treta
Yuga.
Yuga.
But Treta Yuga. We call it end.
End of Treta. Kalyug starts after Krishna.
We'll do it tomorrow. A little more. So he says that I will always be there to protect the good and destroy the bad. What it is, you have to understand that everything in this universe has been created in twos, in couples. Day, night. Snow, heat. Good, bad. Right, wrong. Black, white. There is nothing which doesn't have the other side to it. Nothing. Pick up anything.
Male, female.
Male, female, whatever. Pick up anything. Everything is created in twos. We are couples. Opposite values are complementary.
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang. So,
What?
Come to the children.
so everything is in twos. I will always be there. The Purusha or the Self will always be there when this bad rises beyond the proportion of the good. bad and the
Main
good,
scale.
the right and the wrong have to always equal to 100%. Yeah? And they should be at a 50-50. Yeah? To keep everything going well. But if this negative rises beyond a point, then I will come. As in, the Purusha or somebody or the other gets enlightened and experiences the Purusha, and this Purusha goes around helping others, which helps bring the bad down. Got it? How it works? Do not imagine some bearded fellow coming down from the sky.
From Mountain Moses.
Yeah. Doesn't work like that. Yeah. Somebody or the other will get enlightened, somebody or the other will experience this Purusha, the consciousness, and will help spread the Jnana so much that the bad comes down, which had gone beyond proportion. Yeah.
अरे ऐसे इसमें कोई आ रहा है ठिकाने लगाते
आ भी गया होगा पता नहीं. Yeah. Just like when this Gita was being given, at that time others didn't know. Even the people on the battlefield, Pitamaha is standing right there. Yeah. But even he says that only if this wind could bring those few words to my ears, I know I would be so fortunate. He has not even heard the Gita, but he says this.
So I have this question about Dharma and Pitamaha, Bhishma. I mean, he was supposed to be the most selfless and most noble because what he did. He was whole story. This is a long story, but how did he let all this happen? Right from that game of dice to the disrobing of Draupadi to this atrocity against the Pandavas.
It started the day he took that vow. That's
Yeah.
when it started.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. Because he was
He vowed
trying to influence something that was going against. He was the rightful heir actually.
Right. He vowed to his father. I will not. But that
So he went against the dharma at that point itself. The dharma was that he should have been the king. But he went against it by taking a vow.
Right. That was his selfishness, selflessness.
Exactly. So it took a different. So that's when, and then he went and he got the two queens or whatever, and then all those things, the trying to it seemed like he was doing the right thing, but on hindsight, that all those things were stepping stones toward this moment.
The thing.
Yeah.
But
One more thing about him is that he was very staunch about, if I have said it, I have said it. Yes, there was no flexibility.
he was loyal to the kingdom, the throne.
Yes,
So
even
his-
if the kingdom is wrong.
Wrong.
That was
And
the
even
problem.
though the dice, the game of dice, and this
Yeah.
disrobing of Draupadi was going on, he
Yeah.
still was so, which you would call, even though he was a great guy, was not the right thing to do. Or,
Yes. He didn't
you know,
use his viveka.
Viveka.
Somewhere you need to put your foot down and say
to
this
him.
is wrong.
And he's the great grandfather or something of the whole clan, so
Yeah.
he should have stepped in.
Nice story, I'm sure Daphne is lost. Yeah. Mohit is lost or Mohit knows Mahabharata?
I mean, I've seen the movie.
Thank you.
Well, that pretty much,
With all the arrows flying and the cameras flashing.
You need to wait for it on every Sunday to show it.
There's 26 separate VHS tapes, so it's all you can eat Mahabharata.
Yeah. This 4-7 and the 4-8, we used to hear it every day in the morning.
Yeah.
The titles would start with these shlokas Sunday morning.
That's true.
So I have a thought.
The thought has been going through my mind about this positive, negative concept that you were talking about as to balancing them. In my view, it seems to me that brings the best in everything. If you can balance them, dosha the same way, right? So it seems to me that Guruji designed the Kriya based on that concept. So when he says so hum, so energize, hum, relax. Energize, relax. Energize, relax. See how energetic do we feel after that? It's just balancing that positive and negative in that concept. Does that make sense?
Beautiful. Let's go to the next. Janma karma cha me divyam.
Janma karma cha me divyam.
Evam yo veti tattvataha.
Evam yo veti tattvataha.
Tyaktva deham punarjanma.
Tyaktva deham punarjanma.
Na eti mameti so Arjuna.
Naeti mameti so Arjuna.
One's birth and karma are divine. Yo veti tattvataha. This tattva, this principle, whoever understands. Yeah. Tyaktva deham, when he leaves the body, drops the body. Punarjanma, rebirth, na eti, will not happen. Mam eti so Arjuna, he will unite with me or he will attain me, O Arjuna.
Could you repeat that?
One who understands this entire principle, that this entire universe is nothing but that Brahman consciousness and everything is karma in it. This principle that we've been talking about since yesterday, one who understands this principle of Janma and Karma, he, when he departs from this body, it will be his last body. Got it? He will not come back in a body again. As in, he will attain enlightenment, in short. Mam eti means he will attain me. As in, the Purusha is speaking, Krishna consciousness is speaking. The witness consciousness is speaking. That he will not be lost in this Prakriti anymore. He will be united with the self. He will attain the self. He will be enlightened. You get out of the cycle of birth and death and birth and death after you understand, oh, it is nothing but cause and effect, cause and effect. There is really no past, present, future. I am the one who is just turning every effect into cause, and I keep rolling the ball. It's my responsibility to stop this, to drop this. Right here, let the effect be effect. The moment I'm established in the self, I see all these silly things. Oh, not to give this too much importance. When I don't give this importance, my mind will shut up. The mind does not go on creating vyakha anymore. The mind shuts up. Yes, and that is uniting with the self. Then you do not come back again. You become a Siddha. Remember Siddha now?
Yeah.
You did Kinnaras, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Devas, and then Siddhas. So Siddha, you directly become a Siddha. You jump.
तेरा चांस कम है पहले सीधा हो जा फिर सिद्धा होना
That is a good way.
So I keep reminding you, this is your only lifetime. This is your only chance. You cannot let go of this chance. Otherwise, Mahati Vinashti.
Feeling better?
4-10. वीतराग भय क्रोधा
वीतराग भय क्रोधा
मन्मया मामुपाश्रितः
मन्मया मामुपाश्रितः
बहवो ज्ञान तपसा पुता
बहवो ज्ञानतपसा पुता
मद्भावम् आगता.
मद्भावम् आगता.
What is raga?
Like
Cravings, desire. I want this is raga. What is bhaya?
Fear.
Fear. What is krodha?
Anger.
Anger. To become free from these three, he said. Become free of cravings, fear and anger. Once you become free of these, manmaya, one who becomes soaked in me, who becomes one with me. Mam upashrita, one who takes refuge in me.
Anger? What are three things?
Craving, fear, and
Craving, fear and anger. Become free of these three. Yeah, then you become soaked in me. Yeah, and then you take refuge in me. Very beautifully, if you go to say, it's the same thing that we did in the morning. Vyakhya is all this fear, anger, yeah, cravings. You become free of these. The first samarpan that you do. Yeah? You take a sankalpa. From now on, I am all the time coming back to the center. Again and again, through meditation, through kriya, through knowledge, I come back to the center. And that also then I don't get into that, oh, I am a yogi, I meditate every day. That also I drop, take samarpan completely, do surrender. That is the upashrita that he's talking about, taking refuge. Faith that you did under samarpan too, that complete faith, what has to happen will happen. Taking refuge means that he or she will take care of me, whatever form you want to personify God as. I will be taken care of. This is taking refuge. Now, here Guruji explained very beautifully to you. Refuge, anybody cannot take. You have to be really courageous to take refuge. Otherwise, we understand that people who are weak take refuge, no? It's the other way on the spiritual path. Only somebody who is very courageous can let go of his ego and take refuge with God or consciousness. Otherwise, what do we feel? Oh, I am great. You have no idea. I am so great. Yes, I have so much faith in my own doership that I can never surrender this doership. If you go to see, nothing else needs to be surrendered. Just your doership needs to be surrendered. There is really no other surrender. The moment your doership is surrendered, rag, bhaya, krodha, everything is gone. That's the ultimate samarpan. Drop. The person who can drop his doership. What has to happen will happen. He has taken refuge in the true sense. He just does his action and makes it a pure action, devoid of raga and dvesha. Just does that action. Can you be a yogi like that? Can you take refuge? You have a master. Homework number 5. So many years with Gurudev, no? 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. You have a master. There are so few people out there in this world who find a master like him. Isn't he amazing? He's so amazing. He's just showering us with these blessings. And then we take him for granted after some time. After some time, even kriya you take for granted, isn't it? हाँ, किया नहीं किया चलता है.
ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. Come.
I know. He's given us what he got at enlightenment. Isn't it the greatest gift? It's so amazing. Yeah? Can you take refuge in a master like that? Giving up your doership. That's your homework number 5. So second line of the sutra. Bhagwad Jnana tapasa puta. Many yogis did the tapas of Jnana. This is tapas, no? Sitting through this the entire weekend, leaving all your other responsibilities of the world, giving your spiritual growth priority. It's a tapas, isn't it? Yeah, your body is tired, your body wants to sleep, your body wants to get up and walk out of here right now, run away as far as possible. But you are sitting here. Yeah, you recognize the importance of this knowledge, where this knowledge can take you. This is tapas. Yeah? This is called Gyan tapas. So that is what is the word right there. Bahavo is many, did Gyan tapasa, means the tapas of Jnana. And Puta is purified. They got purified by doing this tapas of Jnana. And Madbhavam Agata means they have merged into me. As in the Purusha is saying this, the Krishna consciousness or the witness consciousness is saying this, that they have withdrawn from this Prakriti and merged into me, the Purusha. Purified. Next part we'll do tomorrow. That all goes together, all the rest of the shlokas. So I've given you 5 homeworks for today. Huh?
One was for yesterday.
Okay, one was yesterday's. Have you done that? Yesterday's? So you have 5 homeworks. Those who have not done yesterday's homework.
Especially
Take away.
Hey.
Exactly questions.
Huh.
Guruji, he was reading from a book. Do you know what Bhagwad Gita he was reading? Like, do you all have a own Bhagwad Gita or what?
I have no idea. But why is that important? He was reading the same Sanskrit sutras that you have.
No, like there is a different version, so that's what I was just thinking. Like the interpretation is very different.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
This is his own version.
It is Guruji's own version. Whatever Gurudev explained, Gurudev explained. It doesn't matter what he was reading from. The explanation was not something that Guruji was explaining to you from that person's translation. Got it? Guruji explained from his own experience, from his own Purusha. Yeah?
So he has selected very few slogas out of many, right?
Yeah. That is why I gave you the shloka numbers. So if you are really interested, the best Gita is the one from Gorakhpur Press.
Gita Press. Gita Press.
Gorakhpur Press.
Gita Press.
Gita Press from Gorakhpur is the name of the city where Gita Press is.
UP.
That's the best
Edition.
Yeah.
Or the print.
The latest. Take the latest one. But it's the best. It's such a thick book. It's really heavy to carry. And But that has the best real translation. Every Sanskrit word has been translated. Not just, people just give the line, no? Every word. So it's very beautifully done.
I've seen those books in hotels in India.
Yeah?
They look good?
Gita. No. I've not really, paid attention how they look good. But.
जेल में गया रहेगा कभी गीता पे हाथ रखने को उधर देखा रहेगा तुमने
Why taking me down memory lane?
Experience is talking.
नहीं पिक्चर में देखा यार हमने ऐसे कुछ
रास्ते में जरा देखो कौन से प्रेस का
एकता दीदी को लॉ कोर्ट में ऐसे बोला ना कि गीता पे हाथ रख कर बोलो कि मैं सच बोलो वो कहता है नहीं मैं नहीं रखूंगा सीता पे हाथ रखा था तो यहाँ पे आया
गीता पे क्या हो जाएगा
Somebody had a question on Hangout?
Yeah, Sneha here, Didi. I wanted to ask, you mentioned about the Gyan Tapa in the end. So are there more type of tapas that one has to go through?
Yes.
Which have been documented?
As in, not one has to go through, but there are many different kind of tapas. We'll do that. We've also done it in Patanjali. Have you done Patanjali?
I missed a lot of Patanjali sessions, so I don't consider that I've done that properly.
Okay, so we'll
I was
begin.
following batch, but I will do it again.
Yeah, we'll begin in October. Yeah, then you learn a lot of different kinds of tapas.
It'll get covered in that.
Oh yes. Full one chapter is just tapas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Mohit.
Okay, so Guruji had
Mike,
this line.
Mike.
I don't know if it was...
Mike, they cannot hear you.
Can you continue with your own posture?
Also bring the giant feathers.
Yeah.
Guruji had this line about, and I don't know if it was related to a specific shloka or he was just talking, but he said something about how the wise have their cravings. The wise should burn down their cravings and act spontaneously and selflessly.
Yeah, that's the last sutra.
There's nothing selfless about acting spontaneous. The very act of being spontaneous means that you're not thinking about how it's going to affect anybody else, right? You're just doing. There's no way to actively take into consideration everybody else when you're being spontaneous.
No, actually spontaneous comes from the Purusha. When it comes from the Purusha, automatically there is compassion, love and sensitivity towards others.
You're not thinking about the benefit or no benefit of it. You're just being spontaneous.
What is
A
right?
premeditated would be like you're thinking.
Correct.
Sorry, go ahead.
Spontaneous is not impulsive. I got you there. It's not impulsive. Impulsive is, I saw so many dresses, I went and bought all of them. Very beautiful dresses, I want all of them. Go home and realize, boss, $1,000 I spent. This is crazy. This is impulsive. Where did it come from? A raga hiding in my subconscious basement. Are you seeing this? Remember we spoke about the basement and the living room? Yeah, your basement is the subconscious. There is some raga or some dvesha hiding in the subconscious that propels you in the direction of acting impulsively. You think you are spontaneous. It's not spontaneous. Very nicely misused word in English, spontaneous. That's not what it means. Spontaneous is from my nature. I do not act out of raga or dvesha. I don't think what I am going to get from this. I think what is for the greater good. I don't even think the Purusha itself, when it acts, it is always for the greater good. There is no thought of, I need rest because I am feeling sick. That thought doesn't even come up because that would have come from a dvesha or raga. Dropping that, just acting from the Purusha, being there. Everything happens anyways. Just you have to be an empty flute. If you fill up the flute with trash, is any music going to come out of it? Your ragas, your dveshas is all that trash stuffed inside the flute. No music is coming out. All you have to do is become hollow and empty. And then spontaneity happens. You don't act for lack of, language barriers are there. That is why we say act spontaneously. Actually, you're not acting only. It is happening through you.
Actually, you're watching it play, isn't it? I mean, if you're in Sambhava, that's, seems to me that acting spontaneously means...
Acting spontaneously in this sense here we're talking about is taking an action in Sambhava, means watching yourself. When you watch yourself, you're separating yourself from the body-mind complex.
Perfect.
As soon as you separated yourself, all your senses dissolve.
Absolutely.
And then you're taking action. That's what we're talking about.
Yes. You're not even taking action. That's what I'm saying.
You're
Once
acting.
you are in that space, it's happening through you.
What is the Sanskrit word that is there for spontaneous?
For spontaneous, it's in the last sutra. We'll do it.
Okay.
He went ahead.
Okay.
He could not wait for me to complete tomorrow.
So I guess it means that just I was under the impression that as long as you're in the present, then you're good to go. But apparently that's not the case because
More than that.
because acting impulsively is in the present, but it's the motives are subconscious.
Now, present was just the first step. The next step is to be able to drop the ragas and dveshas and just be in the moment. Present is just this moment. It's gone. Again, this moment. It's gone. Where is the time even to have a raga or dvesha? It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Where is the time? Are you getting it? Present moment again and again and again and again and again. How can impulsive act also come out of it? There is not so much time. See what I'm saying? Here and now. Again and again and again. Basic cause point, guys. Happiness program.
Mohit used an important word. He said motive. So when there is no motive, it is spontaneous.
Perfect. Very well explained. No motive is equal to spontaneity. Again, understand, it's because of the language that we are using the word spontaneous. You have to actually understand the meaning. Again, vyakhya, tathya. If you go for dictionary meanings, it does not describe what I described to you. Okay? You have to understand the whole drama that I was talking about. Any more questions?
Questions?
Yes, questions.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Guruji mentioned three things about anger. One is your attitude, and second is somebody's action, and what is the third thing? And what is the element coming into the picture?
Element? He said, don't give importance to all this. These were all in Vita Raga Bhaya Sutra. He's saying, whatever cravings you have, these cravings and aversions are what? You're just averse to somebody's appearance, somebody's attitude or action. Don't get into these silly things. Now you're trying to decipher what elements are there. Drop. He's saying drop. Let go beyond that. Don't get stuck in raga and dvesha. Yes, that's what he was saying.
someone asked what is the difference between this Gita and Ashtavakra Gita?
Oh, lot of difference between Bhagwad Gita and Ashtavakra Gita.
Content-wise, not context-wise.
Both ways, there's a lot of difference.
Both ways. For that, please join Ashtavakra Gita starting yeah, October 11th, Ashtavakra Gita begins every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Central Time. Yeah? Join that. 1 year commitment you have to make to me. Yes, then you will know Ashtavakra Gita in its entirety.
So we were talking about the different wars and the Ice Age that has been, all the different wars that have occurred throughout time. So if the energy doesn't really go away, that's the same energy that has been coming back over and over again.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly, not necessarily, but it's possible the same negative energies keep coming. We do not know because it is again Gahana Karmano Gati, but if that energy did not get a chance to come back into a human body, it needs to do something. Those energies driving these negatives that are happening.
Actually, scientifically, energy has no face. Energy is energy, positive or negative. So energy can never be created or not destroyed. So overall energy will remain the same, positive plus negative. They're always neutralized.
Perfect.
Right, but those karmas of the
souls.
People who did that just need to clean their karma?
Yes, there is only one way on this path. The way is to enlightenment. Whether you take a bullock cart, whether you walk towards it or you take a rocket, that depends on you. But it's a one-way street. That is the only way out. You came from the pool of consciousness, you remember the process? You have to go back to it. One-way street.
Okay, so consciousness is made of all the elements.
Okay, no.
Consciousness is pure.
The light coming through that bulb. Light is different, and the bulb, the wire attached to it, the plug, all that is different. So electricity is Purusha, and the bulb and the cable and everything attached to it is Prakriti. The electricity is not made up of the bulb and the cable and stuff like that. Electricity is different. It is just manifesting through that Prakriti. Same way our consciousness manifests outside through the Prakriti. The five senses, your body, the five elements, your five organs of action, five organs of perception, all this together forms Prakriti.
So it seems to me, help me answer that. And let me take a shot at that. I think what the way it's happening is that karma create niyati, and niyati is directing devas, and devas utilize doshas to make things happen.
Okay. Niyati is the CEO. It's running this management of karmas. Niyati decided cause will go to effect, effect will go to cause, cause will go to effect. Niyati decided what is cause? Combination of five elements, doshas, vatas, pitta, kapha, everything. This is what is cause. This is what will be effect. This is the interaction between positive and negative pole. All these terms are dictated by what is called niyati. Niyati clear?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I didn't express that, but that's what I was thinking.
Mohit, got the answer?
So doshas and these, I just don't understand how that can attach to the consciousness when the consciousness is not the elements. I mean, how can that stick? I thought
It sticks
I thought
because
it was like just what affects your body's ambiance more than anything. So then your consciousness is not your body. So how does it carry on with your consciousness? These mood setters.
Oh, after you leave the body, how does one carry these? Because these impressions are formed in your karma bag, which is a part of your causal body. You remember the 3 bodies? So causal body is what? It's like an invisible bubble that carries all the impressions. Impressions are what? I was in a higher fire element, I fought with him, I did this, I said this to her. All these left impressions in my karma bank. I carry that along. So it's the impressions which are determining when I leave this body, when I get the next body, what happens. That's how
I understand how karma travels with the consciousness. I just don't understand how these other accessories get to ride in the bag too. Like, you know,
you mean the elements and doshas and gunas.
Right.
They are impressions.
The impressions were caused because of the gunas and the doshas and the...
Mohit gets very angry. This is because of fire element. That anger, that impression of anger goes and sits in the karma bag. So what has sat over there? Fire element. Are you getting it? It's the impression of that particular episode with that element really rising high. That sat there. That you carried from one janma to the next janma. And that's where you see the effect.
I think all along we were emphasizing how maybe it was implied in such a way that karma or impression is a one-dimensional object that gets sticks somewhere, but maybe it has some rich information like audio, visual, and doshas or fire, or maybe
Absolutely.
So it's multi-dimensional.
Correct?
Everything that you're calling accessories are also impressions, so they automatically get to ride in the bag.
They are what cause the impressions. What you are calling accessories is the main CPU, the keyboard, the main processor, the main ingredients which is causing the impression to happen. So obviously they go, no? The fire that left the impression of anger or jealousy or hatred goes with you.
But if I stick my thumb into soon to set concrete and I leave, that impression is there forever. But I can leave and still it is there. So I don't understand why I'm needed at the crime scene.
So sweet. Well, the impression of anger stays there, right? You leave, the body leaves. Impression goes.
In science, there is in a way, there's something similar. We were talking about it yesterday. If you go into a black hole, like you enter a black hole, on the surface of the black hole, all your information stays there like a holograph. So all that is you. Information about you stays on the surface, but you disappear into the black hole. So it's as crazy as all these impressions staying with you. It's your information, it's all the stuff.
On the internet.
Right, all your search history.
Yes.
It's always there floating around. Whatever bad thing you did.
Exactly.
As a teenager.
You went away from the crime scene, but you left your footprints behind.
Right. Mistake number 1. There's always a trail.
Alright, you got your answer? You've got the mic now. Why don't you sing a song?
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
That's it? You had some, 10, 12 questions you said?
Yeah, but they're not necessarily relevant now. I think when we get to the...
Okay. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.